Mize, how about those Los Angeles Chargers that come back, get a massive road win against the Cleveland Browns? Look, early on, it looked really bad for LA. Browns jumped up early 14-0. And with that running game and defense, that's a really bad spot to be in. But the Chargers find a way. They claw back. They go up later in the game. The Browns respond to go up 28-27. The Chargers kick a field goal, 30-28. A little weirdness happens down the stretch, but the Los Angeles Chargers find a way to win 30-28. They're 3-2. Finally above 500. They're starting to get their stride on offense and doing a lot of good things there. And Miles, I know you've got one guy specifically that you want to call out, but Chargers fans, we want to hear from you now. Who was your MVP of this wild come from behind victory that was almost a must win for this team? Big momentum setting win for this Los Angeles Chargers offense. Give us your MVP in the comment section below. But Miles, what are your thoughts on just this crazy Chargers win?
Well, I mean, yeah, Nick, this was insane. It was back and forth until the end. Browns had a chance to come back and win the game. They kind of blew it, missed the kick. And the Chargers and the Browns. This was a day of battle of the running backs, a battle of the ground game. Who could be more efficient and effective on the ground? And you think, okay, that's easy. You got Jacoby Brissett, who's a mobile quarterback. You got Kareem Hunt, who was a starter on the Chiefs, moves over to the Browns, and now their second string running back. Then you got Nick Chubb, who's an insane running back, a very, very phenomenal talent out of Georgia. Always been very good. But no, that was the less superior rushing attack on the day. Austin Ekeler went off, Nick. 16 carries, 173 yards, and 1 touchdown. And this is so crazy because sometimes you see these big stat lines and you're like, oh, well, did they get a big run that accounted for all of their yards? And yeah, he got a 71-yard run, but he still had 100 more rushing yards after that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a crazy day for him. He also accounted for a touchdown in the receiving game. He was all over. And then their other running back, Kelly, did a pretty admirable job as well, 49 yards and a touchdown. So a great, great day on the ground for the Chargers, and a pretty good day for the Browns as well. But the Chargers just got it done. Austin Ekeler is a phenomenal running back in both the passing game, the rushing game, and he's a pretty good blocker to boot as well. So overall, he was my MVP of the day, and there is no way the Chargers could have done this without him today.
Yeah, I think Eckler certainly is very deserving of the MVP award. But how about the offensive line for Los Angeles Chargers? We talked about him a few days ago. Jamari Sawyer, the rookie out of Georgia, stepping in for Rashawn Slater. There was a lot of question marks. They did really well last week, but we said this week against the Cleveland Browns, that was going to test Sawyer and this young offensive line, and they came together and executed at an extremely high level. I mean, 34 carries on the ground, 238 yards, 7 yards per pop. That's crazy high. And that's even if you get rid of the 70-yard touchdown run, that's what a 70-yard run, sorry. It was 33 carries for $170. That's still pretty darn good, and that's getting rid of a huge run. So an incredible day for this Chargers offense line. But how about this? Justin Herbert, 1 sack against that Cleveland Brown defensive line. Look, I know Garrett's not there, but there's still a lot of great players on that defense. And to go into Cleveland and execute that well from an offensive line perspective, that's a great sign for this Chargers offense. Because look, we know they're beat up, they're hurt, but there is hope that a lot of these guys will start to come back. And maybe Slater returns later in the year. Their Bosa was supposed to turn. Obviously, Keenan Allen should get healthy eventually, right? You have some pieces that are going to start coming back, and this team will get better. So right now, finding a way to go on the road and beat a quality football team using their offensive line in that running game, that's a great sign for the Los Angeles Chargers. Because when they get healthy, their formula of, Herbert and that big play passing game and that pass rush on defense, that'll come through later in the season when people get healthier. But the fact that they showed they could win the game with their running game just shows how multiple this offense has become.
Yeah, and this wasn't against a nobody team either, Nick.
No,
This is a Browns team that, as you alluded to, it has a very, very good defense. We said it earlier, it has a crazy run game. They have some admirable receivers as well. And Jacoby Brissett, who's playing very, very good game manager football, he's taking care of the ball a decent amount. He's getting the job done, and they've given a lot of team fits. This is a team that, quite frankly, if they would have made this field goal, we'd be talking a different story. We'd be talking a Browns win. So this is a tough team. This is a very, very tough team, a scrappy team. So this is a good win for Chargers. It's kind of tough going through the injuries and wondering, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Then, as you said, Sawyer steps up, big time player. He looks really good. whether he shifts over into the guard position when Slater comes back, if he goes right tackle, whatever the case may be, you're just going to get better from now on. After the injuries, I think this is crazy to say, Nick, but with the injuries that have happened, I think the Chargers have found a way to get better with some of their best players getting hurt because they found new players to fill in and potentially bolster the roster. And they never would have thought that these players would have been the caliber that they are now. So,
Yeah, Eckler was always a gadget guy, right? Like a
mhm.
third down, almost like I think White up in New England, the running back, kind of that kind of role. To have him come into a game like this and dominate and be that productive, that just shows, like I said, another way the Chargers can beat you. And if they're multiple and healthy, this Charger team is dangerous.
Yeah, no, big time. So this
Yeah.
Charger team, really exciting game. Big win for them, and we're kind of I'm ready to see what they look like going forward once they start to get a little bit healthier week by week. This team's just gonna get better from here on out.